and thrilled to have here in studio. This is his book called Killer Crossover, because he had one, to say the least. 13 years in the NBA, 5-time All-Star, Basketball Hall of Famer Tim Hardaway is here. Good to see you, sir. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. Right. Thanks for having me.
You bet.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
We did some sports centers together back in the day.
Yes, we did.
You were at the end of your playing career.
Yes.
Just kicking tires on the media and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Awesome. It is great to see you again.
Yeah, it's always nice seeing you.
So what does it mean for you to come to an All-Star game and just hang out?
Just hang out, network, see the guys, see the, retired guys, see the, new guys that's playing, just reminiscing, talking, just having fun. And, Norm Nixon and his lovely wife, Debbie, we was at their dance studio last night. That they doing beautiful things, beautiful work here, and we just chopping it up, having fun.
Awesome. So you can confirm that fame does live forever.
Yes,
okay.
yes,
okay.
yes.
I'll make sure. See, I know Debbie Allen. I remember the whole business.
Yeah.
All right. So you were an All-Star for the first time in 1991.
Yes.
And man, there were some all-time greats that were on these teams. What's it like, a kid from Chicago by way of UTEP? Golden State Warriors, just a couple years in the league as an NBA All-Star, walking around, and who'd you see? Who'd you meet? What's your memories of all that?
First of all, when I got to the All-Star game, a friend of mine, I was like, we was going to a party or something, and it was like 30 of us, and I said, man, we not gonna I can't get all 30 of us in.
Yes, right.
And I turned around, and he said, yo, man, you Tim Hardaway, you an all-star. You gonna get all 30 of us in. So I get to the door.
And you're like, I'm plus 29?
So I get to the door. I'm like, oh, man, okay, I know this is not gonna work out. So I get to the door and I say, hey, man, he said, how many of us? I said, it's 30 of us. He said, come right on in. I was like, okay, I am an all-star. All right. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. And it went from there. But, sometimes you got to have friends that put you over that hump to make you understand, who you are and what you're doing in this league and why you're an all-star. And that's when I knew that I belonged, when he let all 30 of us in.
I love that. I thought the story would be, hey, I'm all-star teammates with Magic Johnson and James Worthy. No. And you're like, no, I could get plus 29 into a club.
Yes, I get plus 29 in a club. But I will tell you this, my first game when we played at the Forum, the Great Western Forum.
Yes.
Don Nelson, he kind of got on me because I was at Great Western Forum, and I was like, oh, man. I'm at the Great Western Forum, and I'm playing against Magic.
Mm-hmm.
And for a first half, I was in a daze. I was like, as a rookie, I was like, wow. And then after he got on me at halftime, I snapped out of it. But by that time, it was too late. They was killing us by 30.
So Don Nelson, being your head coach of the Golden State Warriors at the time, noticed that your head was in the clouds a little bit.
Right.
I don't blame you. This is the Showtime Lakers in the Great Western Forum, right? I mean,
man, you see them on TV, and you see them doing Magic and Worthy and Kareem and Byron Scott and AC Green and all those guys doing their thing, and then you, as a rookie, you on the floor and you're about to compete against them. Yeah, at that particular time, it was overwhelming for me.
Mm-hmm.
But at halftime, I snapped out of it, and I was all right after that. But yeah, it was kind of the lights was bright then.
Mm-hmm. Tim Hardaway Sr. here on the Rich Eisen Show. Killer Crossover is his book. Get it where all books can be acquired. Here on the Rich Eisen Show, the Run-T.M.C. poster. We have it for you to take a look at from back in the day. When you see this poster that's on the screen, what do you think of when you see this, Tim?
I see it every day at the house.
You do?
Yes, I have it at the house. I see it every day. I ask Chris Mullin and Mitch Richmond, do they have it? And they say yes, they see it every day. Every time I see that, I think that we could have won a championship with the Golden State Warriors back in the day if Don Nelson did not trade Mitch Richmond and gave us a chance and built around us as a core, we would have won a championship because a lot of teams were scared of us. All three of us. They didn't know how to control all three of us on the court. And we just needed, a center. And when we had Alton Lister, he had tore his Achilles. The first year he was there, he had tore his Achilles, and we had to, supplement, and we had to go to gimmicks and doing stuff again. But once he became healthy, then Mitch got traded. But I think we could have won a championship in Golden State with us three as the core and putting pieces around us. So when I look at that picture every day, I just shake my head. But Chris and Mitch, we keep up with each other. We talk, our families, we talk with each other all the time. When we get in the room together, it's you need a mic and a filming us, because that's all we do. We just laugh, we reminisce, we joke, we have fun, and we go out and shoot some.
You do. Who still is closest to their game at this day and age? Run-T.M.C.
Chris Mullen. He's still closest to his game. Then Mitch Richmond is close. I'm further back because I just watch my son play a lot and just watch him do his thing. And
right.
Yeah, that's all.
Right. I'm so psyched that I get to ask this question. Did you guys ever meet Run-T.M.C?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, Chris used to go to St. John's with one of the guys. I forget his name, which one he did, but he used to go to St. John's with one of them. And during the playoffs, we was playing LA. That's when it came out, Run-T.M.C. and all that. So we was playing the playoffs, and the worst thing we could have ever done was have Run-T.M.C. introduce us. So we went in a form. All right, we went in the form. We come back home. Run-T.M.C. is introducing us before the game. And as he's introducing us, I see Magic huddle his team around him. And, to what some of the guys was telling me, like, they making a mockery of this game, and they got Run-T.M.C. here. They want to think that we not, ready to play. And when he did that, when I saw that, I was like, we in trouble. We are in serious trouble. I'm playing against him. I'm watching him. But on TV, how he orchestrated everything and how he his leadership out there on the court.
Magic. Yeah.
And what he was doing with his teammates and making them understand, let's run this offense. Let's get into this offense quickly. Let's do this. This guy, they knew who was gonna shoot. They knew who was get the ball. They was setting screens and everything. And I was like, and I was just looking at that, and I watched film after we lost series to him, and I was like, that's how we got to play. That's how our mentality has to be. And from that point on, that's the way my mentality was the rest of my career. But I saw when we had Run-T.M.C. introduce us, I was like, that was the wrong move.
That's right.
That was the wrong move.
Was it Reverend Run? Did Reverend Run go to St. John's?
Oh, No, it wasn't Reverend. I know it wasn't the Reverend Run.
Okay.
It was the taller one.
Okay.
I forget his name. But yeah, it was a taller one.
Went to St. John.
And not the DJ either. It was not the DJ, yeah.
So it was DMC?
It was
DMC went to St. John.
Okay.
Yeah.
Made the mistake of
our organization, we made, and we was like, yeah, all right, that's cool. Let's do it, yeah. And then, like I said, we was like, I was like, we made a big mistake. Not against Magic, it could have been against somebody like the Supersonics or even,
Gary Payton. Gary Payton wasn't there yet, but they wouldn't have stood for it.
Right. Right. No, I mean,
maybe nobody would have stood
right.
for it.
Nobody would have stood for it. I'm just naming.
I know that. I get it.
But Magic, I saw Magic. Once he got them together, I was like, we in trouble, y'all.
Last night, Tim Hardaway Sr., LeBron James became the oldest player in the history of the NBA with a triple-double. When you watch him do stuff like this at this age and have more points than Kareem and what he's doing at this advanced age, maybe not even for him, but for most other humans, what do you think of when you see that?
I love it. I love it. I love him going out there and competing the way he competes, how he does it out there on the court, the way he has taken care of his body for this long in his career. But he's still playing at a high level. So I could still see him playing another year. You know, because there's nobody out there stopping him. You know, like taking initiative. All right, I'm going to go out here and stop LeBron James. He's going out there doing whatever he wants to do, how he wants to do it in his 21st, 22nd year in the NBA. And there's nobody in the league that's stopping him or taking the onuses to go out there and stop him. So I think he could play another year at the way he takes care of his body. But it's remarkable, man, what he's out there doing, how he's doing it. And I love watching him. I love watching him play.
I mean, I'm just seeing at the end of your career, he was just getting into the league, I think.
Yes, he was just coming into the league. I got a story for you. So we was in Chicago, and we had this run. Tim Grover had this run. It was Michael, Scotty, myself, Antoine Walker, and a lot of other guys in there. And they was like, yeah, LeBron coming today. So he was in high school still. And he had just broke his wrist, and he was coming out of the cast and everything. And I knew that he was going to be really, really, really good. I didn't know he was going to be this great, but I knew he was going to be really, really good. So he came down on a fast break, and it was like a 3-on-2. And we was going to see what he was going to do. So I had the front, somebody had the back, and we went and tried so he wouldn't pass. He took off from the free throw line. He just took off. Excuse my French. And we was like, damn. And you just see him just going up. He missed the dunk because he was so frantic, but he just took off from the free throw line. You just saw him dunk, and he hit the back of the rim and went all the way down the court. But I was like, yeah, that's impressive. Even though you missed the dunk,
you're right.
But you to just take off from the free throw line, that's very impressive.
I'm sure he wanted to show off a little bit, right?
Oh, and I think he still has some jitters because he was in front of Mike. This is his first time playing
in front of Mike,
with Mike, in front of Mike, on the same court as Mike. I think this was his first time with Scotty. And then, like I say, he had the cast.
Sure.
He just got the cast off a week early, and they's like, come to Chicago and let's play. So I think he was still, he was just hyped up to come there and play. But after he missed that dunk, you saw what he could do out there. His all-around game. His jump shot wasn't there, but you could tell that it would be there later on in his career. But yeah, we saw that he was it.
What's your favorite Jordan story?
Oh man, I got a bunch of them. My favorite one. So we at the All-Star game in New York. And we sitting down, and Michael can't find his briefcase. His briefcase, that he always carry around. So he told the security guard, he said, hey, I left my briefcase at the hotel. Somebody got to go get it. And he subbed himself out. And the security guard came back. And I was sitting right next to him, hit him on, we found the briefcase, we got everything that's good. Mike got up, called the timeout. The coach was like, huh? He said, timeout. He subbed who he wanted in with him. And this was against Kobe. He subbed who he wanted to get with him. And he went out there and got triple-double and won the MVP. I said, now that's power.
That he sent somebody home.
No. He
the briefcase.
No, he sent somebody to the hotel.
Right. Okay.
In New York.
Right, for the briefcase.
Yeah, security guard, the head security, Horace Balmer. God rest his soul. He passed away. But Horace Balmer came back and tapped him on the shoulder.
Yeah,
and said, we got the briefcase. He got up.
Mm-hmm.
He got up. The coach he didn't say call timeout. He got up and said timeout. Yeah.
How was the briefcase related to the?
He was discombobulated.
So he finally got locked in.
Right. He that briefcase discombobulated him some way. And once they said we got the briefcase, he was like, okay, I'm ready to go.
As a Knick fan, hearing this story,
but this was All-Star. This wasn't a Knick game.
No. You're talking about Madison Square Garden. If all I knew to try and get Jordan off his game would be to take his briefcase away from him, I'd have been like, somebody.
This was All-Star.
It doesn't matter. It's Madison Square Garden. He's discombobulated. Take that man's briefcase away from him. And, you know,
That was the 1998 All-Star.
Yeah.
well, that's the one where Kobe famously waved Karl Malone off the blocks, right?
Yes.
He's like, I want this.
Yes. Kobe made Michael play one-on-one against him, whole court. Like, you're going to stick me, I'm going to stick you. But that's how Kobe wanted it.
Yeah.
He wanted, like they say, all the smoke. He wanted it. And, he said, yeah, I got some more to work on.
I'll never forget that All-Star game. Yeah, that's the one where Stuart, Scott, and I drove down after a Saturday night Sports Center because he was disappointed that he had to do Sports Center with me instead of hanging at the All-Star game all weekend long. You got a Stuart story? Do you remember him?
Yeah,
I mean, we loved doing your highlights. I know he loved your crossover. Well,
yes.
and plus you were two Chicago guys.
Yes.
He
yes.
loved you.
I loved him
Hardaway
too.
Sr.
I worked with him, and you know, I didn't know that he was going through all the cancer,
Right.
chemo, and everything.
Right.
And it was very, very remarkable how he did his job. Okay, because you're looking at the teleprompter.
Right.
He really couldn't see.
He couldn't see, Tim.
He could not see. So when he's talking, they talking in his ear.
Yes.
And he's talking to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, yeah, we go on the video. He was like this on the table. He was looking down.
Right at it.
Right at it. Look, that's how close he needed to be
right.
to see
Yes.
what he was talking about. And I'm over and I'm right next to him, and I'm like, damn. Wow. I was impressed.
Mm-hmm.
And so when people talk about him, I seen it firsthand how great he was at his job. I seen firsthand how he prepared for his job. And I said, man, if anybody could see him or anybody watched him or anybody was in his just was around him, you are fortunate to have seen a great person. I mean, not only do his job, but just a great person.
You know, he was also great at he was great at everything, but he was great at, and certainly towards the end of his life when he was really sick, he still did it anyway, the trophy presentation after NBA finals.
Yes.
He was awesome at that.
Yes.
He was great. You know, because you also don't want to give up the microphone because some people always grab the microphone and try and say something.
Exactly.
He was a maestro at getting people in there and having fun and being chill about it.
Exactly.
But he did love you.
Yeah, I love him too. We used to talk all the time. When you got to get there early, 3-4 hours early, and we just chop it up.
Yeah.
And he'd just be doing his job, doing his work, and we doing our stuff, and we just chop it up for another 15 minutes, just talk. And but he loves sports in general.
I know, but he also is a real competitor. Did he ever try to cross over you? I bet he did. Did he ever try to say, hey, let me show you what I've got?
He wanted to go to University of Connecticut, and he wanted to play me one-on-one. He did want to play me one-on-one. I was like, Stu. I said, Stu, come on, man. I mean, I love you, but come on now.
This totally tracks.
Come on.
This tracks. I knew it. That he would,
he's very competitive now.
That at some point he'd be like, I know you've got a, again, you name your book's Killer Crossover.
Yes.
But he probably said, I've got one too.
Yeah, he did say that, and I was like, we not. I don't want to go out there and embarrass you. I do not, because if we gonna be on camera, then he's going to want to do some stuff, and I'm gonna have to show him some stuff, and it's gonna be on camera.
Yeah.
I don't want to embarrass him on camera.
Yeah. Who's the best point guard in the NBA today? You're sitting around. You've got your league pass. You could choose whatever point guard you want to watch in the NBA.
Cade Cunningham.
Why?
Why? Because his confidence. He's putting the team on his back. The team, his leadership. He's leading his team to, and nobody knew this, first in the Eastern Conference, number one in the Eastern Conference right now. And they got a 5-game, 7-game lead on New York and Boston. But he has put that team on his back. I love how he goes out there and plays. And I knew he was going to be an all-star, and I knew he was going to be an MVP candidate this year. And the way he plays, it shows. He's a hard-nosed player on all. And a lot of people really, really, really don't know about his defense. He plays great defense. And if you're not careful, if you think you're going up for a dunk, or if you think you're going up for a layup, he's throwing that stuff off the glass. So yeah, he got sneaky hops, and he will throw your stuff off the glass, and he will dunk on you. So yeah, I love watching Cade Cunningham. Of course, I love watching Brunson and SGA. But I say right now, the best point guard is Cade Cunningham.
Well, 40 wins by the All-Star break out of 53 games for the Detroit Pistons. 5.5 game lead is not too shabby. And you're a perfect guy to have sitting in this chair. News just broke.
Yes.
That Chris Paul is retiring.
Yeah.
I give you the floor on his greatness. What do you think?
You know, I was on my way here, and I read it on my phone, and I was like, wow, you know, first of all, it's a shame what happened with him in the Clippers. That was just a shame and atrocious, and I'm quite sure he's going to say his side and everything. But great career. He didn't go out the way he should have went out. But you know, like they say, he is a point god. If I'm gonna tell you this, he taught so many guys how to play and taught them what they needed to do to get better on and off the court. So, for instance, we talking about SGA from OKC. I don't think that he will understand how good he will be at this particular point. I think it'll take him another 2 years. But at that particular time, when Chris Paul left and he was with him, he knew how good he was and what he can be in this league. And that was because of Chris Paul. So, yeah, I mean, Chris Paul, he has taught a lot of these point guards and tutored them. And he's still doing great things off the court with kids, too.
Oh,
With his academy and everything. But, man, fabulous career. It's a shame that he didn't go out the way he wanted to go out. But I feel that for him to come out and retire, I feel that he's comfortable with it.
We'll have an orange jacket with you.
Oh, no question. First ballot Hall of Famer. No question. He'd be first ballot Hall of Famer. And he's going to be right there. No question.
You got a question, TJ, before we let Tim Hardaway Sr. go on his day?
Yeah, sure. So, Tim, you know, we're on the sports show and everyone loves lists. And before you came out, Brockman and I were talking about this. It's something that he and I do regularly. But if you were to give your Mount Rushmore of point guards, who would make up that Mount Rushmore?
Well, of course, Isaiah Thomas.
Ooh.
The real one. You know, we're talking about Detroit Pistons.
Okay.
From Chicago, Isaiah Thomas.
Zeke.
Magic.
That's 2. You're halfway home.
Oscar Robertson. John Stockton.
That's your 4.
Solid.
That's a good 4. That's a good one.
But you know what? You can't never go wrong. You know, you could Jason Kidd. You could pick
Steph,
GP, myself,
Jerry West,
Chris Paul. I mean, it's a lot of point guards. That's, you know, Kevin Johnson. You know, I mean, it's a lot of point guards that was out there.
But who had the best crossover?
Tim Hardaway, Senior. You better believe it.
UTEP 2-step.
UTEP 2-step.
Yep.
Cross them ankles up. But yeah, go get my book. Tells about my story, how I made it from the streets of Chicago to basketball royalty. It was tough. It was difficult to talk about my, you know, growing up. And, you know, my dad was an alcoholic, and, you know, he was domestic violence, you know, and stuff like that. So it was hard, man. It was hard. And so it tells about my life. And it's a good book for kids to read because you can make it. You just got to be strong. You know, you got to be strong. And, you know, we didn't know we had mental illness back then. We did not know that. We did not know that we could talk to people back then.
Sure.
But now you have somebody to talk to if you have mental illness. You have somebody to talk to. You have somebody that you always can go to and talk. And I advise you to go and talk to somebody because you need to get that off your mind. You need to get that off your chest. And what got it off my chest was playing basketball in the streets of Chicago, where I could go out there and use that to my advantage to get better and to get stronger and to make my life easier. So yeah, that's my book right there.
Killer crossover, My Life from the Chicago Streets to Basketball Royalty, forward by Chris Mullen, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah. On the back, Muggsy Bogues is giving you a few words. Isaiah Thomas, that's pretty cool for you, obviously, to have him.
You know, Isaiah was my basketball idol when I was growing up. My dad played basketball, basketball legend in the city of Chicago also. I used to go watch him play. But my grammar school coach took me out of school one day, and we went to, it's called the amphitheater, and he was out there, and he said, take a look at number 11 on the white team, St. Joseph team. And I'm looking at him. I see him, how he controls everything. I said, you know, great ball player. He's doing whatever. He said, yeah, you play just like him. I was like, get out of here. Come on now.
Yeah.
He said, right now, you play just like him. This is how you can control the whole situation. So I just started watching Isaiah through my, you know, as he went through Indiana, Detroit Pistons, and as I went to Carver, UTEP, I kept an eye on Isaiah, and he was my basketball you know, legend, and I you know, my game, I patterned my game after him.
And sir, you did a great job of that. And number 10 in your program, the only person who prevented you from wearing number 10, if I'm not mistaken, was Manute Bol when you were a rookie.
Yeah, man, you know.
You were wearing 5.
I was wearing 5. He told me, yeah, you know, give me your whole contract. I said, you want $500,000? That's all I'm making. He said, yes, I want the whole contract. Let's see how much you really want this number 10. I went back to the equipment manager. I said, I will take number 5. I said, yeah, I take number 5.
And you waited him out.
Hey, I waited him out, and then Nelly the next year was like, okay, Manute, we're going to give you the boot and let him get his number 10.
Killer crossover. Again, get it where all books are sold. Great to
Amazon,
see you.
Amazon.
And where all books are sold. Hey, thanks for coming here.
Thank you for
anytime
having
you're in LA, let me know. I'll have you
sir.
back here anytime. Just
Appreciate
chop it up like
yes.
like it's
love
you, me, and Stu again.
Exactly.
Back in the
That's
early
what it's
aughts.
supposed to be.
That's the way it's
I
always
love
hoped.
everything. You doing a great job.
Thanks,
Keep up
Tim.
the great work.
Really appreciate that. Tim Hardaway Sr. right here on the Rich Eisen